Hey, this is John Carlos, and I'm here with a look at the Star Wars Black Series action figure of Lando Calrissian. If you've seen my other Star Wars Black Series figure reviews, then you know how much I hate cloth used on plastic figures, which is why I like that Hasbro went with a plastic cape with this figure, and they even included a little plastic thing inside to protect the inner gold paint. Here's just a look at the interior of it, so you can see the details of the little texture to it. It's all kind of like warbly textured, so that's cool. The gold paint where it flares out looks good and cleanly painted right along the edge. That's nice. The collar, the black paint on the collar looks good. The figure looks good with the cape on or off, so that's nice. But could you imagine how like terrible this figure would look if they'd gone with a cloth cape? Like the collar would be all flared out. It'd be really hard to do like the gold and the blue, so it'd be like two pieces of fabric. It'd look all puffy and weird. It wouldn't lay right. This is how you do a plastic cape on a figure, where you get the folds just right and it looks great and matches the rest of the material. So kudos to Hasbro for getting that right. Now another thing they got right, in my opinion, is the likeness of Billy Dee Williams here. I think this looks really, really good. Now Hasbro's been kind of getting better over on Marvel Legends. If you look at like the Guardians of the Galaxy 1 figures versus Volume 2, like the details, the likenesses, everything's gotten better. Can't say the same for Black Series, even though they're made by the same toy company. Within the same amount of time that we've had that god-awful A New Hope Luke and Leia, and like Cassian, and that terrible Poe, we've also had Jango Fett, and Obi-Wan, Director Krennic, a lot of good figures, like Kanan, that have really good details, really good likenesses. This is one of the good ones, in my opinion. It totally looks like Billy Dee Williams. Like, the likeness is there, the profile, the nose, the cheeks, the lips, the paint on the mustache, the paint on the eyebrows, the eye paint's great. Everything about this is great. The sculpt of his hair, the paint like along the ears and the sideburn area is really good. This is just a perfect head sculpt. I think it's great. The paint details are great. Everything about that turned out awesome. The body looks good as well, but you know, I'm losing my mind over the actual face of it. But the collar is well painted. The belt area, the mid-torso cut right above the waist looks stupid. I wish they would have just made the waist a twist, but whatever. The mid-thigh cut's fine. Double knee joints, the hinged swiveling feet. Big problem with this is that he's got his left foot, his left shoe on the right leg and his right shoe on the left leg, and that makes it slightly difficult to get the figure to stand. If you've seen me struggling with this in this review, it looks dumb, and I had the same thing with my Director Krennic figure, which had the left and right arms swapped. So if anyone from Hasbro is watching this, get your shit together. Get it all together and put in a little backpack, all your shit, get it together. This is annoying. But you do have the hinged ankle, so that works out. You do have the swiveling elbows. There is no bicep cut, but the elbows do swivel and hinge. And you get the hinged swiveling hands that go in and out. They don't go up and down. You get the ball hinge inside the head. And you get the base of the neck, which allows it to kind of tilt forward a little bit. It's a little tight compared to some other figures. He comes with 2 accessories. Well, if you don't count the cape. You get his blaster, which is well painted and looks, you know, good. And then you get his little tiny, like intercom thing when he's talking to the citizens of Cloud City. It's very little. And it's got like dark gold and a little bit of silver on it. You get that little handle there. And there you go. That's it. There's a look at it. It's very tiny. Also, speaking of tiny, that's what she said. I love that they included his little wrist command thing. I was wondering, because you can't see it in the package behind the cape, but I was wondering if they were going to include this, because it's a nice detail, and I'm really, really glad they did. So he can, you know, reach on there and contact Lobot, and, you know, do a little ambush and save Chewie and all them. Very, very happy they included that. Nice little detail with the white and gold and black paint and all that. I was thinking the cape would be a mild drawback for, you know, you can only pose him with his arms down with the cape, and you'd have to take the cape off to have him hold the blaster, but it has a slight looseness to the side that allows the arm to come up, but also it does have a little bit of a give to it, so you can have him there with his blaster out like that. But what I'll do is still take the cape off, because he does look pretty cool without it. He looks good both ways. But yeah, there you go. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Like, I've raved enough. You know how I feel about this. It's a great figure, and if you're a fan of Lando, I don't see how you wouldn't love this, because it's just pretty much damn near perfect. So thanks for watching, everybody, and follow me on Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff.